Hey, what's up, everyone? It is episode 36 for Homie Connect Podcast HCP. We got Ceez in the house, and we got
Yes,
me,
sir.
Serge, in the house for episode 36. Ceez, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Just chilling right here on this. What is it? Friday night. Friday
Friday
night,
night.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Just chilling, man. Chilling with the family. Work today, and then got out early. Thank God, and did some stuff.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
took care of some chores and all that stuff, and taking care of the family. And man, just looking forward to this 3-day weekend. Just chilling, man. And
Okay. What do you got
just
planned for this weekend?
you know what? Like, I don't know if you know, but my brother is having a
Oh,
baby.
that's right. He did. You know what? Dude, I feel so bad. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
He sent me a text.
Okay.
So I gotta hook him up with some stuff. But he sent me a text, so I feel bad that
Yeah.
I
So
didn't respond.
tomorrow's his baby shower. So that's where I'm gonna be there tomorrow. Probably the whole day. Cause
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna go over there to this baby shower, and then Sunday church. And then after that, no plans. And then Monday we have a picnic. Well, not a picnic, like yeah, like you can say a picnic
Okay.
with our church. So it's
Okay.
gonna be like the whole Spanish congregation is gonna go over there and to the church. They have a field.
Okay.
They're gonna do the whole barbecue, play games and sports and all that stuff. So we're gonna
Okay.
go first time there, and that's it, man. Just
Okay.
go to
Okay.
church and have fun. Hopefully everything's good. The weather looks like it's gonna be good, so
Is
that
it
should be
cooling
good.
down for you guys?
It's gonna be like in the high 80s, 90, low 90s. So it's
Okay.
not bad. It's still hot, but it's not like 100 and shit
Yeah,
bad,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But
Okay. All right.
yeah, it's good. It's gonna be good, man.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah. What about you,
That's
man? How you been?
good, dude. I mean, for us, it's just been the same old, same old. It's been
Yeah.
busy. Um, yeah, same thing. I had work today. Luckily, work was a little different today. I got to like work at a my house for a bit.
Mm,
I had to like duck out to head to a couple of places for work for like an hour, and then I came back, and then
mm,
got back. Not too long ago, like I told you, from practice. Unfortunately,
okay.
my little one, my softballer, she's sick. She's been throwing her brains. She's been barfing her brains out, so she wasn't able to
Man.
make it to practice today. So that sucked. But I still had to go. Um, but yeah, dude, we've been busy. I've been looking forward to this weekend. I got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of shit at work. As I mentioned, I work in education. I work in the operations side of things, though. So for
Yeah.
me, there is no summer break for me. Even though today was the last day for schools
Okay.
in our district, so I was really really happy about that. Just because it's kind of like you're closing the book on one like chapter of the school year or whatever, and it's like
Okay.
great, I can focus on other shit now. But this is kind of where my work really begins, and it gets really chaotic and really busy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was really looking forward to this weekend. I have no clue what we're doing this weekend. Really, we couldn't really decide.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know we're looking at going to see Lilo and Stitch tomorrow, but
Okay.
like I said, my little one's been really sick, so I don't know that we want to go to the theater tomorrow and have her eat junk food, and after she's kind
Yeah.
of recovering from her stomach and throwing up. So
Okay.
I don't know. But then Sunday, I don't know. I think we wanted to keep it low key. Most of the time, we usually do something with my wife's family, who usually comes over. But there's
Okay.
been a lot of things going on this week, and so we didn't even get around to that. So it'll be the first time that we don't really have any plans and nothing going on. And honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world to
Yeah.
just have like a chilled 3-day weekend, which
Yep.
it's not really chill because like I'm not gonna lie to you. I was looking forward to today and tomorrow to kind of get some drinks in and just kind of
Mm-hmm.
relax, take the edge off. Uh, Sunday I might be able to do that. Monday I can't because Monday obviously people go back to work on Tuesday, right? And so do I.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have practice, so we practice on
Oh,
Mondays and
okay.
Wednesdays, and we still have practice on Monday, and I can't. I can't.
Dang,
I can't.
you guys didn't change it for Memorial Day? Like, yo,
Nah, that's
I know some
travel
of you
ball,
guys.
homie. That's
Oh,
travel
for
ball,
real?
bro. That's
Damn. Okay.
club. Yeah, we don't take those days off. So, like, as much
Damn.
as I want to get litty titty, I cannot get litty titty and show up to
Okay.
practice all messed up. We're done with tournament season though, so luckily, like, and for those that I think I might have mentioned in the last podcast, but unfortunately the previous team folded. We're now part of a new team, same organization. her old coach has returned, so we're now with the old coach. I'm
Okay.
still on the coaching staff, and so we've got. I think we only kept like 3 players, 4 players from the previous team. The rest are all new players, and so we're getting them ready. We're gonna have to a lot of scrimmages. We got a scrimmage on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday against an old or same organization. They're more of a championship competing club, so it'll be
Okay.
kind of good to see where we're at with that against them. And then Elena's gonna get to pitch against them, so we'll see how that goes. It's funny. I was telling Yanni today that their coach really wants to. She really hopes that Elena can kind of come through on Wednesday as a pitcher
Mhm.
because obviously she didn't get any run as a pitcher again in the previous team. So we're all a
Okay.
little bit bitter about that, including her old coach. And so she's hoping that like when there's a couple old coaches that'll be in the stands for that
Okay.
scrimmage as well. So she didn't even tell them. She's like, oh, we got like 3 pitchers, and she didn't mention Elena or whatever. So we're
Oh,
hoping kind of
okay.
like it's
Surprise
weird, dude.
them. Be
There's
like,
like
hey.
there's these little politics in club ball. It's weird, right? But
Oh, okay.
it is what it is. Like for me, I just want her to have fun. If she shows out, fantastic. She's been
Yeah.
working hard. Um, but yeah, dude. For us, it's hopefully it's chill. I know we got a busy weekend. The next weekend, we're
Mhm.
actually going. Like, what is that? Like, fucking northeast, southeast, kind of. We were supposed to do a tournament next weekend out in an area called Pine Top.
Okay.
Really nice area. We've never stayed there, but the team folded, so we had to opt out of that tournament. And so,
Okay.
but we rented out a like really nice Airbnb
Mhm.
um, through
You and your family, right?
yeah through
Okay.
somebody like yeah, because there's like 25 teams in that tournament. So we like
Okay.
hurried up and we had booked like a hotel, like a Best Western. But then somebody at work was like, "Hey, I have a cabin up out there, and I'll rent it out to you for like $100 a day." And so I was like, "Well,
Okay.
fuck it, let's do it." And so we did it. But then the tournament or we folded. So we're like, you know what? Like, let's just go. We'll still go
Okay.
as a little vacation, as a little getaway. We'll go. We'll take it in. Maybe we'll pop our heads into the tournament, kind of see some games or whatever. But
Mhm.
other than that, like, I just want to take it with the family. So
Okay.
it's kind of nice that we're taking it chill this weekend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now,
Gotcha.
last time we were here, we talked about kind of our plans for Mother's Day. So it's been about that time since we last recorded. So how did Mother's Day go for you and your wifey?
It was good, man. Same like I said, it was a little barbecue. We went to church. And then we had my wife's sister and her family came over.
Okay.
And they were just same thing, barbecue, food, eat. It was dope. We drinking, barbecuing, everything. So it was great,
No.
man. They had fun. My wife, she was happy. She loved
No.
it because she had family over and
Right.
we
Right.
were eating and she was cool.
Okay.
And that's it, man. Just that and cool. We're like, all right, cool.
All right.
And
All
now
right.
it's like she's like, oh, now she's like, what do you want for Father's Day? I was like, hey, you know what? Another barbecue,
There you
probably.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right.
What about you,
Well,
man? What would you do that
yeah.
Mother's Day?
Well, before we go any further, speaking about drinks and speaking about
Hmm.
Mother's Day and speaking about your brother Steve's baby shower, just
Yeah.
quick shout out, quick toast to him.
Oh shit. My bad.
Salute.
My bad.
We did.
I'm drinking soda.
Oh, you're drinking soda. It's all good. Cheers. I got my little, I don't
Sure,
know,
sure.
mixed ranch water kind of thing. Yeah. So cheers to everybody. Cheers to them. Cheers to your wifey on Mother's Day.
Yes, sir.
Um, I gotta send out something to your brother, man. My bad. Dude, I've been horrible with text messages. He
Yeah.
texted me and he sent me everything and he sent me his registry. So if I remember tomorrow, I'll send him something. If not, do me a favor where you see him, tell him, hey, he got your message. He's gonna send you something.
Oh, okay, okay,
Obviously,
okay.
he sent me the invite, but bro, there's no way I can make it out.
Nah, yeah, no.
um, but yeah, tell him I got him, bro.
All right, all right. I'll
I
tell him.
failed to
I'm gonna
respond.
see him tomorrow, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Tell him I failed to respond, but I got him. Don't
Órale,
trip.
órale, órale.
But congratulations to him. That'll be his first child, right?
Yes, sir.
That is
First.
awesome, dude. You get to be an uncle. Look at
I
that.
know. Shoot.
Gee, look at that. You
That's
get
why I
to
was
be an
like,
uncle.
what? It's
That is
uncle?
awesome. Is your mom excited?
Yeah, she's excited. She wanted a girl.
Okay,
My
okay.
brother already knows he's having a boy, so she's
Oh,
like,
okay, okay.
another boy. So
Ah,
I was like, oh well.
So
But not.
your mom's got the opposite issue that my mom's got, right?
Yeah,
My
yep,
mom's
yep,
got all girls. Your mom's gonna have
yep,
all boys.
yep.
That's
Hmm.
hilarious.
That's
That's
funny. Yep.
hilarious. All
So
right, all
yeah,
right.
we're gonna do that, and yeah, man, just my mom's happy. She's
Yeah.
just happy that we got our kids though.
All right, all right. Yeah, no, for Mother's Day, Saturday was a little bit more low key.
Hmm.
Saturday, my daughter, we had open workout.
Okay,
So
yeah.
me and my daughter had to go to a softball field and do open workout with new players. You
Okay.
know, and since she's one of the pitchers, we've got to test out some of the catchers. So she's got to go, whether she likes it or not. She's got to go, which was funny because she was not happy, bro. My
Yeah.
little one was not happy. She's like, "I'm tired. You only gave me 1 day off last week." Which yeah, because we had finished the tournament weekend, right? And
Yeah.
then practice was on Monday, and then Tuesday she had a private lesson. Then Wednesday she had another. Um, it was a
Practice.
tryout. No, it was a tryout.
Oh, okay.
And so we
Try.
had tryouts for the other people, and then Thursday she was off. Then Friday we had another practice for the old team, and then Saturday we had open workout for whoever went to come out.
Oh
And
shit.
then so yeah, she snapped at me on Saturday. She was like she was not happy, which I was already thinking of giving her some time off.
Yeah.
So for those of you asking, or for those of you wondering, yes, I gave my daughter some time off. So the following week after that Saturday, after Mother's Day weekend, I gave her the whole week off. I was like,
Yeah.
no, baby, like I get it. And she doesn't complain, bro. Like if
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
little one does whatever you tell her. So for her to complain, you knew she was getting a little tired.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I was like, It's fine, baby. Like you're good. You could take all week off." Um, but yeah, so Saturday was chill. After the workout or whatever, we came and I picked up my big one. We went to Bath and Body Works, and kind of
Okay.
tradition is for like birthday or for Mother's Day, like we always I take the girls to Bath and Body Works, and they each choose a scent for their mom.
Okay. Okay.
So like a spray or gel or shower gel or lotion, whatever. Like they choose a scent for their mom that they like
Okay.
themselves each.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's a little bit more personal. It's just a tradition we've been doing for a minute now,
Yeah.
and she really enjoys it. So it's and the girls enjoy it too.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
luckily they've gotten better at it because bro, we would be there like an hour before because they just want to smell everything. But they've gotten better about it, so it's not too bad. And then Sunday we had the baseball game, the
Okay.
um,
Oh
the
yes,
Dodgers
that's
versus
right.
the
That's right. That's right.
Diamondbacks. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, uh, luckily for me, the company I work for, we have tickets to what's called the home run patio
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
at Chase Field, and there's a patio on either side of the scoreboard out the center field, and it kind of overlaps into outfield a little bit. So it overhangs over it, which is pretty damn cool.
Yep.
It's an awesome spot, and all the food's included or whatever. Only thing not included is the beer, but that's fine. Like all the other food's included, and you don't ever have to get up. Like you literally order
Okay.
from your phone. Like there's a little app that you download and you order from your phone, so you never have to get up. They
That's
bring it
dope,
right to
man.
you as many times as you want. So it's pretty bougie, dude. It's
Yeah.
we're pretty spoiled. But last time we went, we were able to get a ball from one of the center fielders for the D-backs, and then this time around, we were hoping we would get one from
The
uh,
Dodgers.
the Dodgers or whatever.
Yeah.
So we did. We got one from the Dodgers center fielder who was playing that game, and then uh, so that was pretty cool. It's funny though because we were sitting like next to another family, and like so the girls were cheering him on every time, like oh throws the ball, throws the ball, throws the ball, and and he threw us the ball at one point, but he overthrew us,
Okay.
and so the ball hit like behind me, and then it went over into like the general like I don't know walkway area or whatever, and somebody
Oh,
like
okay.
scooped that up like with a quickness. So that kind of sucked. But then we kept asking like, oh, throw it, or whatever. And yeah, he was able to throw one over to us.
Okay.
And this was for what's his name? Outman.
Yeah, James Outman. Yep.
Yeah, James Outman was the one that threw it to us. So
Okay.
number I think it's 33. Yeah, number 33,
Yeah,
James
33.
Outman threw it to us. And this time, like I backed up my wife and the girls. So like this time I stood behind them, and
Okay.
sure enough, I was able to catch it or whatever. Um, and then obviously the Dodgers got the win, but then it was also
Yeah.
pretty cool because um, my wife got to at that like towards the end of the game they replaced Outman with Kike,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and she was all like Kike, Kike, and there was a play that they were I can't remember what it was that they were reviewing. They were reviewing a play,
Yeah.
so Kike was kind of chilling in the outfield, and she's all screaming her lungs out to Kike, and she's like, Kike, say hi to me, and like he turned around and he was like, "Wee," he waved,
Yeah.
like that made her day or whatever. So yeah, it was a pretty damn good it was a pretty good Mother's Day. That's all she wanted for Mother's Day. So I mean,
Yeah. That's dope.
it
That's
was
dope.
pretty cool. She got a clear bag, one of those like for Mother's Day. It was like a special bag that they gave out.
Oh, okay.
It was Diamondbacks, of course, but it's like she's like, well, we'll use it if we ever come to a Diamondbacks game against anyone
Yeah.
other than the Dodgers and the Guardians.
Yep.
She was like, we'll rock it and we'll represent the D-backs if we need to, but yeah, dude, it was pretty good overall. Then after the
That's
game,
cool.
we went to like Michael's to go buy the little ball case or whatever. Cause
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, so we bought the ball case or whatever, and yeah, dude, that was Mother's
That's
Day. That was
cool.
pretty cool, dude. So
And
yeah,
where'd you guys put the ball at?
it's in our living room.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
like we have the one on one side of our entertainment center.
Mhm.
Like right now they're both together, I think, but I think the thoughts to put them apart. But like the one from McCarthy from the Diamondbacks,
Okay.
which I think he got demoted to like AAA right now or whatever,
Oh
and
shit.
then Outman, which it sounds like
I
Outman
think.
got sent back too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He got sent back because
Outman got sent back too.
players are getting healthy, so somebody has to go down to the
Yeah,
minors.
yeah. So Outman got sent back, so it was like,
Yep.
womp womp. It's all
Well,
good.
he should be back at the
Yeah,
end of the season. But
yeah,
yeah, like somebody has to go, and
yeah. I was like, well, it is what it is. But it was cool, dude. I mean, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty epic. She got to take some
okay.
good pictures. Um, and then after the game, she got to run the bases.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I saw the
Yeah, she
video.
got to run the bases, so that was pretty cool. Apparently, every Sunday for at the stadium, which might be the same case at other stadiums, right? But they do a kids get to run the bases. But this
Yeah.
Sunday, since it was Mother's Day, they did it that the kids can run the bases, and so could the moms.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the
Okay.
moms got to run the base, and she recorded it and posted it up on her
Shit, you
Instagram.
probably you probably have to do that too for Father's Day, bro.
Nah, I don't really like to be celebrated for Father's Day. I'm gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
I don't I
Okay.
don't really like anything for Father's Day. Like sometimes I think like I want to do something by myself, like oh I want to go camping or I want to go like off roading,
Mm,
or something. But then it's like I don't want to be away from my family though. It's weird. Like
yeah.
I, I get it's supposed to be a Father's Day where it's like I don't know. It's just weird. I don't want to be away from my family, but I also don't want to be celebrated. I don't know. It's weird.
Mm, okay.
It's
Okay.
weird, but
Yeah, I get you. I get you. You're
yeah,
just like, cool. Just it's another day for us.
it's another day. Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like my birthday. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's my birthday. But no, it was good, dude. I mean, I was really happy with how it went. It turned out to
Oh,
be
no.
better than I thought it would be. So that was good, man. That was good.
That's
So
dope. Okay. Okay.
happy belated Mother's Day to your mom, and
Yeah.
obviously happy Mother's Day to my mom as well, belated as well.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, sir.
I sent my mom some flowers, and I sent my in-laws, my mother-in-law got some flowers too. So
Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. I
yeah.
think I saw your mom that Saturday. I know she was going out with your brother.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So I saw her and gave her a hug and um. So yeah, they were going out to eat. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
All right, all right. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Caesar's mom and my mom live on the same property.
Mhm. Mhm.
They live on my property or whatever. So it's kind of nice to have both of our moms there,
Yep.
and they look
Yes.
out for one another. So that's kind of nice. And they've known each other shit since we've been in kindergarten. So
Pretty much. Yep.
yeah, so it's pretty nice to have that there. All right, man. Well, let's get into some sports news. What do you say about that?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
All right. Well, in sporting news, the NFL schedule came out, and all the schedules are out, and so The first game of the season opens up on a Thursday, and it opens up with the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday, September 4th. What do you think about that? Do you think that was a good season opener?
I mean, it's it's a good season opener because, of course, it's division rivals.
Right,
And of course, the Eagles are the Super Bowl champions, so Super Bowl champion opens up the season at home. I'm sure they're gonna unveil the banner in front of the Cowboys.
right, right.
Um, but
In their face.
yeah, in their face. But at the same time, it's like, I don't give a fuck about the NFC East. Like, I'll watch it because it's football, of course.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't care. Like, it could have been somebody else. I kind of always, for me, my thinking is always to open the season, it should be an NFC team against an AFC team.
Yeah.
That way, it's like two teams that don't play each other that often,
Yeah.
go at it, and
Right.
it's the first week of the season. Like, honestly, like, anything's up for grabs because no team is has their football legs under them.
Right. Right.
Anything could happen, so it's like, it should be that NFC versus AFC
Right.
because it's the NFL.
Right.
But this game, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm sure everybody's gonna watch it because it is a rivalry, but it's still football, so a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
will watch it.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I could see the Eagles winning. They still have pretty much the same team, and then the Cowboys are the Cowboys. I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool. It's all right, man.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you, man? What you think about?
I I mean, I get it, like you said. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like here we are kind of judging the game, but like you and I both know that come fucking Thursday, September 4th, you and I are gonna be like giddy little schoolgirls.
Yep.
Fucking Christmas in fucking September. Woo, for football's back. We're gonna be
Yeah.
all fucking giddy. Um, but it is the Cowboys and it is the Eagles, two teams we
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
don't give a shit about. I get that the Eagles get to home. They get the home opener. They get the season opener. They are the champs and well deserved. But dude, the line's already 7.
Yep.
The line's at 7, and I only think the line's gonna go higher. I
Mhm.
don't think it's gonna go lower. Do you think it's gonna go lower?
Um, it
Actually, you know what?
can,
I
of
think I think
course.
it'll go lower because it's the first game of the season. I
Yeah.
would probably take. Yeah, I
There's
would.
still a lot of. You still got to get to training camp and injuries, or
Yeah,
something can
yeah.
happen. Somebody could get arrested and shit like that. So
but
yeah, the line can still move, but
I
the favorites are
yeah.
the Eagles, the more complete team.
Yeah. I'm with you though. I would like to see an AFC versus an NFC, and I wouldn't be opposed. I think I might be even more interested if it was fucking KC versus Philly.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be opposed to that. But I also wouldn't be opposed to Washington versus Philly. I know
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
Washington doesn't have the fan base that Dallas has or the pull or the appeal, but like honestly, I think I'd rather see Jaden Daniels versus Jalen Hurts than
Okay.
than Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
might have been a more interesting game if the tush push had been banned, but the
Yeah.
tush push
True.
has
True.
not been banned, and so it will stick around for the 2025 season. The tush push
Mhm.
is still there. So I don't know, man. Of course, like I said, football is back at the end of the day. We're super pumped. We're all giddy. We've got our
Yeah.
fantasy football rosters going. Like
Yep.
it's a special day for fanatics like you and I.
Mhm.
So it is what it is. They're still going to get our viewership
Yeah. Of course.
for sure, right? But yeah, I wish they could have done better. And then the other one is Friday though. This is
Friday's
is
game.
this the
Yep.
second time they're doing it? I don't remember if they did it last year, but it might be the second time they're doing it. But
Um.
there's a Friday game now.
Yeah. No, I don't remember them playing on Friday like to
Last
start
year,
the
right?
season.
I don't.
No, did
I
they?
don't, I don't think so, dude. I don't remember them doing that shit last year.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I could be wrong. A ver, ahorita te digo. Hold on. Oh shit, they did do it last year.
Okay.
Last year was Baltimore KC to open up the season, and Friday was Philly and Green Bay.
Oh, okay, okay.
That is interesting. So this is the second season. It sounds like of week one having a Thursday and a Friday game.
Oh, you know what? I think that game is gonna be in
YouTube.
in another country.
Yep, in Brazil. You
And
are right about that.
this
And it's
game,
on
right?
YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, that's why it's on Friday then.
It
Okay.
is on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
In Brazil. That
Okay.
is
Okay.
that is interesting. Wow. And KC is only a 3-point favorite against
The
the Chargers.
Chargers. Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess because they're both traveling and they're both away.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
And
Well,
it's gonna be on YouTube. I'm
yeah.
wondering if it's gonna be on YouTube TV or just YouTube,
Ooh, that's a good question.
because I know they
Actually,
have YouTube TV.
I actually paused my subscription, bro. I forgot I've had that subscription for a minute, and I was like, "Fuck, it's like $80." I was like, "Nope."
Oh, YouTube TV.
Yeah, bro, that shit's
Oh
expensive. I
shit.
fucking forgot
Yeah.
I had it, dog.
What do you use now then?
I don't watch TV, bro.
Oh
I don't
shit.
have
Oh.
time, dog. I mean, right now we've been watching it because so now that we're in the softball universe, now
Uh-huh.
we care about softball.
Oh,
So we've
okay.
been
Yeah.
watching
Yes.
the playoffs or the regionals and all that shit.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
unfortunately, our Bruins lost today against fucking uh South Carolina.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
they got beat pretty good, but hopefully, luckily, it's a best of three series. So
Oh, okay.
hopefully
Okay.
the Bruins can show up. They've been on fire lately, so hopefully they can show up. But it is not. I guess in softball, if you take that first game, 80% of the time, the game one winner wins the series.
Oh
So
shit.
it's not looking good for the Bruins, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Hopefully they can shake off the dust, and we've been having our little one really kind of get into it and watching those games.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was kind of nice. So it kind of worked out that she didn't go to school today because she got sick. Today was her last day. She was bummed she didn't get to go.
Okay.
She's that kid, right? That kid that loves school and wants to go.
Mm.
So she was bummed she didn't get to go, but she got to see the Bruins play because it was at 10 a.m.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
okay.
the Bruins got smoked, so we didn't get to. She didn't get to enjoy that one,
Shit.
but we'll see how it goes. But anyways, so yeah, dude, I fucking paused my subscription. Obviously, I'm going to use it for the football season, right? But I paused it
Yeah.
for now. I was like, ah, shit. All right, well, so the Niners, we're not going to go into a deep dive on the schedule.
Yeah.
We'll
Not yet.
do
Not yet.
not yet. We will do a full episode on the schedule where Ceez and I will kind of break down each game and we'll give our prediction before the season starts, and then we'll kind of come back to it and see where we were with that prediction.
Yep.
So, but we will talk about our opening game for today.
Mhm.
So the Niners open up against Seattle at
Mhm.
Seattle in a 1 p.m. game. What are
Yep.
your thoughts on that?
It's a good game. It's division game, of course, to start off. That's the only thing I'm like, division game already? Like, ah, all right, whatever.
That is
But
true.
it's Seattle. It's Sam Darnold versus versus the Niners. I honestly think the Niners should win this game because it is Sam Darnold. He doesn't have this his Minnesota offense. His coach McDonald, I think,
Yeah, or
was
his
that,
Minnesota defense.
or his defense, Minnesota defense. So yeah, now he goes to Seattle. He doesn't have DJ Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. He
Mm.
still has, what is it, Kenneth Walker
Mm-hmm.
and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he has Cooper Cup now.
Yes, he
So I
does.
mean, it should be a good game. The Seahawks have a young defense, but I think San Francisco, my Niners should take it because they're more the experienced team, and they I want to say they got better players, so they should win the game. So yeah, man, I'm excited. Get this Seattle game out the way in the first to just to start off, and man, I can't wait. What about you, man? What about your Bills?
So the Bills open up at home, which
Okay.
I'm excited that they open up at home. I'm hoping that gives us an advantage, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately for us, we open up against Baltimore in
Okay.
the first Sunday night game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So if I told you I was sitting here confident, I would be lying to you. I
Yeah.
am not confident. Um, Baltimore scares me. Baltimore has always scared me.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's a beast. Derrick Henry's a beast. So I'm hoping that they haven't gotten going right. They're shaking off the training camp rust.
Yep.
Um, and hopefully the crowd gives us that advantage because we're
Mhm.
at home and it's a season opener. But dude, having to open up against Baltimore, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brutal and it's gonna ruin my week if we don't win.
Mm.
Because it's the first game of the season. It's like I get it. It's not the end of the world if you lose the first game of the season. I get
Yeah.
it 100%. But nobody wants to start 0-1.
Nah,
Nobody.
yeah, but like, look, the thing always say is like, look, if you're gonna want to lose, like, lose in the beginning, because
True.
yeah, at the end you want to win those
Right. You
games.
want to go in with momentum. So 100%. I
Yeah,
agree. I
and
agree.
I mean, it's the first game of the season, first week of the season, so it's like anything could happen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, like, what is it? The Tennessee Titans could beat the Broncos week 1, because
Right.
it's like
Right.
anything could happen. So it's like
Yeah.
nobody's. I mean, people are prepared, but like they said, like, you don't have your sea legs under you yet until
Yeah.
you get into the motion, of the
Right.
sea. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's. I know what I heard is like the Bills are favorite in every game this season. So I'm like,
Oof.
dude,
I'm
these
not a
are
fan
the.
of that.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I am not a fan of that. We
yeah,
are favored in this game by 1.5, but that
yep,
line is going to change. I'm pretty positive by the time we get to the start of the season. Um, and you guys are favored by 2 points,
yep,
which usually the home field team gets about what, a 3 point
three,
advantage, right? So that
yeah,
means that in theory they would have won. You would have been a 5 point favorite, or sorry, the Seahawks would have been a 5 point favorite. They're
yeah,
not, and the Bills would have been a 4.5 point favorite. They're not. So
mm-hmm,
that tells you the teams that they're playing, the away teams are pretty good, and so
yeah,
yeah, man, we'll see how it goes. I'll be honest with you, I don't mind losing the first game as long as we don't look like shit.
yeah, mm-hmm,
You know
mm-hmm,
that's fine, and it's a Baltimore loss, right? If we go out there and we lose to the Raiders
yeah,
or the Cardinals or some shit like that, all right, fine, or the Giants, like, oh fuck,
yeah.
we lost to them. But it's Baltimore, a Super Bowl contending team, so it's not
Yeah,
the end of the
it's
world.
gonna come down to like ranking, like in the playoffs ranking, like you want that
Hmm.
tiebreaker.
That's where my biggest concern is, right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, we
Hmm.
play them at the beginning of the season. Like, it won't hurt as much now, but
Yeah.
I think it'll hurt in the playoffs, where in
Yeah.
terms of seeding and
Hmm.
tiebreakers, I think that's where it
Yeah.
hurts, and so that's why I think it's
Exactly.
important. And I think the schedulers knew that when they scheduled this bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm worried about it, but I'm excited, and I love that we get Bills are getting the recognition. I mean, as a Bills
Yep.
fan, I've been through some shit, so
Prime
it's kind
time
of nice.
game. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's nice to get those primetime games, which makes me wonder. It's like, shit, do I really need fucking Sunday ticket? Do I really need to drop close to $500 on Sunday ticket?
Ooh.
It's like that might be a topic for another one. Is like, based on your team, is Sunday ticket worth it? You know, my dumbass has been dropping that money for 20 plus years.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so
No. I stopped. I found my way to watch it. Either I'll watch it on my phone or some illegal way. Shit. Fuck that. I'm not paying for that shit.
that's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie though, it was okay. So I know we didn't even cover this on our fucking agenda, but as a football fan and as a fantasy football fan, it's really hard for me, bro, to like go back to anything
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
in terms of Sunday ticket. And now that it's paired up with YouTube, bro, the fact that I can have like shit, I'll have up to like 8 games going at once
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is good
because
if you
I'll
can
set up two
manage.
TVs.
Yeah, if you can manage all the games, that is dope. With
Yeah,
red zone and then the other games, yes,
yeah.
that's
Like I'll have like most of the time I'll have like 7 games, like 4 on one TV, and then 3, and then red zone in one
yeah,
because you do the quad view or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
For fantasy football purposes, bro, it's I don't know. It's overboard. I get it, right?
yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah. It's dope. It's dope.
It,
I
it,
mean,
it
I've had YouTube TV and it is worth it,
yeah,
but like it is expensive. Shit, like hell of
it
it.
is expensive, bro. It's expensive, and fuck, softball isn't getting any cheaper, so I might have to cut
Yeah.
back on it. But
Sheesh.
yeah, it's. Listen, I don't ask for a lot of things. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't ask for a lot of things. So this is kind of my guilty pleasure. Um, But with that said, let's go back to your Niners game.
Yes, sir.
Um, Recently, your boy Brock Purdy became one of the highest paid
Yeah.
quarterbacks in the NFL. Signed a nice fat contract, and I know the homies. We were all having a chat in our comadre chat,
Yep.
and there was a lot of disagreement there whether Purdy was worth it or not. And I think we're on two different camps. So let's talk about it. You're
Mhm.
on the camp where you think he deserves it.
Yeah.
I like my boy Brentwood. I'm on the camp where I don't think he deserves it. So let's talk about it. Let's hear your argument why you think Brock Purdy deserves the money that he got. And for those that don't know um, about the money that Purdy got, Brock Purdy got a really nice fat contract. So we're gonna let Caesar talk about the amount of money he got and what his annual average salary is.
Yeah. Okay, so this annual average salary is about 53 million
Mm-hmm.
average.
Yep.
He signed what a 5-year contract for $265 million. Is it 5
181
or 4?
guaranteed.
Yeah, 181 guaranteed. So yeah, I mean, uh, the way it, the way I see it is that he slots in around I think seventh in like the tiers of
I think it's tied, right? Yeah.
yeah. So he's me personally. I like the contract because it's not like they're giving him like top notch money, but they're
Right.
not giving him like low ball, like you really suck, money and shit,
Yeah.
So he's right there in the middle. I like it because it gives the 49ers, a cap relief,
Mm-hmm.
but it also helps them, make some moves down the line if they need to with Brock Purdy's contract. He's gonna be once the next quarterback to get paid gets paid and jumps over Purdy, then Purdy's gonna fall down, and then the next year another quarterback is gonna get paid, and then Purdy keeps falling down. So it's like I like it because it's a team friendly contract. And it's a good contract for him. Does he deserve it? Yes. Why? He was the last pick of the draft. That's
Right.
it. That's my winning argument. Mr. Irrelevant. He's still playing good, honestly playing starter football. That's
Okay.
why he deserves it.
Okay.
That's it. He was, and then you get, players like Trevor Lawrence, other quarterbacks that taken before him. They didn't pan out. This guy does. He knows how to play football. Is he the best? Is he elite? No, I don't think so. Being honest, no. But is he competent? Is he a good quarterback? Can he lead this team to win games and hopefully win a Super Bowl? Yes, I believe so. So, yes, he deserved it. Yes, he got paid exactly where he should have gotten paid,
Okay.
and he and I think he still has room to grow. Remember, this is he just completed his third season. This next season is going to be his fourth.
Right.
And like I said, he was the last pick of the draft. To be the last pick of the draft and sign this big ass contract, it doesn't happen that often. So does he deserve it? Yes. Again, he's not the best. I don't I think all the 49ers or the team knows like this guy's not going to be, the best yet.
Right.
We have hope for him, but he can lead our team. And I think he can. I think we have to give him time to grow because like I said, this is his third season. He just finished his third season. This is going into his fourth season.
Right.
And he has a solid team. And we'll see what happens, but I like the contract and I think he does deserve it.
Okay. So as it stands, the highest annual average salary
Hmm.
goes to Dak. Dak comes in
Yes.
at number one for 60,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
even that one's questionable, right? But whatever.
Yep.
We'll leave that at that. Um, Next is Joe Burrow at 55.
Hmm.
Then tied with him is Josh Allen at 55,
Hmm.
which I still think the Bills got a hell of a deal by restructuring his contract and extending him right after,
Yeah.
knowing that other contracts were going to be coming up. So I think that was
Yep.
genius. Jordan Love, 55 million, which I think is interesting. I don't know that he deserves 55 million either. Um, and then, like you said, Trevor Lawrence. I I think Jacksonville screwed the pooch on this one.
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence is also at 55 million a year, so he's tied as well, right? So you've got four guys tied for 55 million a year: Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, uh, and and Joe Burrow. I think only two of those dudes deserve 55 million a year, and
Exactly. Yep.
you know, um, and then you've got, which I've made this comparison before, by the way. So those that have
Mm-hmm.
heard this podcast before can attest. I've made this comparison before. Tua edges out Brock Purdy
Brock
by
Purdy, but like,
$100,000.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tua's at 53.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jared Goff at 53 million, and Brock Purdy at 53 million. So when I look at those three dudes, I see no difference.
Yeah.
They are the exact same in terms of talent. And so that brings me to my next point and my next question or challenge to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is you're paying 53 million a year for a dude that is, you say, is deserved, that he's performed, and obviously we're not talking about an elite quarterback and everything else, right? But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, how's it going to work when you're now putting this much money into a quarterback who needs a stud team around him in order to take you to the next level? Because last year proved, or some would say, that last year proved that Brock Purdy isn't worth what you're paying him, because when the team is not around him, he can't take them anywhere. And you had a ton of injuries, which I get. And so I will push back on the critics to some extent, right? Like,
Yes.
you had a ridiculous amount of injuries. A ridiculous amount of injuries. So you struggled as a team for that. But let's say you had half the injuries that you had. Do you still think the outcome would have been that much more different with Brock Purdy?
Mm, no, because injuries mess up the. For me, injuries mess up the whole offense.
Right?
Uh, Especially Cal Shanahan's offense. You could tell like he runs an offense specifically for a player
Okay.
or players.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, like you said, there were injuries last year. The one dude that I want to mention that kind of performed great with Brock Purdy is George Kittle.
Right?
You see George Kittle actually perform better than he did the previous seasons because of Brock Purdy. So it's like you could see it there. Um,
Well, is
what
it
was your
because of
question?
Brock Purdy, or he had no one else to throw to?
It could be both. It could be both.
Right, right.
But you also see Jawan Jennings also stepped up too.
I like Jawan Jennings.
Yes.
I'm a
So
huge
it's like
Jawan Jennings
you
fan.
could tell, like, yes, does Brock Purdy need a team around them to succeed? Yes. But what quarterback doesn't? Like,
I mean, if you're really talking about it, I mean,
like
I don't want to. I hate to even point his fucking name out, but fucking
Mahomes?
Mahomes, Josh Allen,
Yes.
Tom Brady, like, these are dudes that didn't need a stud team around them.
Again, like we're not talking about Brock Purdy as an elite. He's
True.
a good
Okay.
quarterback.
Okay. True.
And
Okay, I'll give you that. But you said no
but
quarterback. You said what? You said what quarterback? So that's what I pushed back on. But okay, you're right. You're right. You did admit he's not elite.
he's not elite. He's good, but at the same time, it's like the reason why he has a good team around him is because the team provides him a good team. Brock Purdy, of course, doesn't pick the players, doesn't pick who's the right receiver. Does he just goes out there and plays football?
Mhm.
So God bless 49ers for picking the team, a good team,
Right. Right.
and like giving him good players for him to throw the ball to, hand off the ball to. I think he's like I said, I think he did deserve it. I think he's good. Does he slots in right where he should be? Is he does he have room to grow? Yes. Does he need to improve? Yes, absolutely. Um, but he's still fourth year quarterback. I think he's coming into his own. Hopefully he gets, like I said, to me personally, hopefully he gets into the weight room, fucking get some strength in his arm, and throws a good deep ball. But I think that the contract was good. I think it wasn't too much, but it wasn't too high. So I think it's right where he should be.
Okay. All right. All right. Um. Yeah. I mean, time will tell.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Out of a Jared Goff and a Tua, I would rather have Brock Purdy. I will say that I would rather have a Brock Purdy than a Tua or a Jared Goff. I'm not sold on Jared Goff. I'm going to call it right now. You're going to see a regression in Jared Goff. Mark my
Yeah.
words. You
Hmm.
will see it. I was not one of those that jumped on the Jared Goff bandwagon, and I was not one of those that jumped on the Sam Darnold bandwagon.
Hmm.
I think you will see a regression from both. I'm calling it now. You're going to see a regression from both. Um, in other Niner news, speaking about contracts and staying on the topic of
Yeah.
contracts, Fred Warner, another Niner who fans love for the Niners,
Yep.
got a nice fat contract himself, and he is now the highest paid linebacker in
Yeah.
the NFL. I will say I'm going to retract my statement. I didn't make a statement actually. I don't think I commented it with the guys, but I thought he was overpaid. I was like, ooh, that's high. But he's only 28.
Yep.
I
Hmm.
thought he was older. I
Yep.
really thought he was I thought he was 30 or 31. And for those that don't know, in the NFL, once you hit 30,
Yeah.
like you're considered old. And
Yep.
and usually it's downhill from there, right?
Hmm.
Um he's 28. So and he's been injured quite a bit. So he's still somewhat fresh, I guess you could say, right?
No, he hasn't been injured.
Oh, he
He's
hasn't been
played
injured.
injured.
Gotcha.
He,
There
I
you go.
think he's. I
Well, he's
think
still
he's.
injured, fool.
Yeah.
I didn't
He's a
say he missed.
linebacker.
I didn't say he missed games. I'm just saying he's been
Yeah.
injured.
No, he's missed like one game out of I think his whole career or something like that. If I'm
Really?
not mistaken. Yeah. But he's been it last year. He played with like a broken ankle, like a what is it, like a hairline fracture type of thing in his
Mm-hmm,
ankle
mm-hmm,
type of
mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah,
Um, and he still played, and he still balled out. So, but I mean, it like the the most important thing you said is like, yeah, he's still 28 years old.
he's still 28, dude. I
He
thought he
does
was
deserve
older.
it. Yeah,
I genuinely thought he was older. So I think that one is not a bad move.
yeah,
The more I thought about it, the more I was like, oh, okay, all right, it's not a bad move.
yeah. He still could
Um,
play. He still could move. He's still the leader of the team, pretty much. I think if you got rid of him, it'll be like, oh, dude, like, what do we do now? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, but
yeah,
yeah, he's still there. He's still playing out of his mind. He is, in my opinion, he is the best linebacker in the league right now. The way he plays, the way his hunts the ball, and you just hope that he stays healthy, and he can finish the season, man.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. At 28, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
I think he signed a 3-year extension, so I think he's tied with the team for I think 5 more seasons. I want to say.
Which is not bad because I'm sure they've got an out probably when he's
Yeah.
31.
Yep.
That makes
So we'll
sense.
see. We'll see.
That
We'll
that
see.
makes sense. Yeah, that's not a bad deal. All right.
But yeah, it was a good deal, man. I'm happy that the Niners are playing their players that they deserve to get paid, because I think they pay Kittle, Purdy,
Mm-hmm.
and Warner.
Yeah.
I'm sure other players are coming up, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm happy, and I looking forward to this season with the new defensive players that they picked up in the draft. So hopefully that helps and stops the run. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see.
Um, you know what? I don't think we talked about, which I just looked because I was looking at the highest players per position. Um, Tucker got cut after we did the podcast, did he? Justin Tucker,
Tucker.
the
Oh yeah,
kicker.
yeah, 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 yeah. The kicker, the kicker.
The kicker
Yeah.
got cut from Baltimore, so we won't face Justin Tucker. There's that.
Oh, that's true.
There's
Yeah,
that.
they got a rookie because they drafted a rookie,
They drafted a rookie, so
and then they come out. The thing that everybody was upset is like, man, you guys come out with like some sweetheart, message like, oh, Justin Tucker's been with the team for so and so long, and we wish him the best. And everybody's like, dog, you guys been knowing like he's a sexual abuser. Like,
he's
he's
a
been
bit of
doing
a
some.
perv, guys.
Yeah, he's a bit of a perv, guys. Oh, dude. So, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, he got cut, dude. Whoosh.
Yeah, they selected the kicker from Arizona, Tyler
Mhm.
Loop.
Yeah.
Um, so that'll be interesting. I mean,
And the reason
listen,
why we didn't talk about him is because he's a kicker.
he's a kicker. He's a kicker. But you know what? We're talking
He
about
was
him
good
now.
though. Yeah, he
We're
was
talking
good
about
though.
him now, and he was good. He
Yeah.
was the reason for a lot of their wins. So
Yep.
I'm not gonna miss Tyler Loop, but we'll find out what their kicker is made out of. Because to be kicking against Buffalo in Buffalo, on a Sunday night game.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We'll
you know
see.
what?
We'll
That's
see.
some pressure right there. So good for him. Um, in other news, in the NFL that broke after our podcast,
Yeah.
Mr. Derek Carr is
Mm.
retiring from the NFL. And in our
Weird.
one,
So weird.
we talked about how we thought it was interesting that they didn't draft a quarterback. Well, at least a
Shador.
certain quarterback
Yeah.
that was available to them multiple times during the NFL draft. They didn't take Shador Sanders, which we will talk about in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But now Derek Sanders, Derek Carr is retiring. So, what are your thoughts about that? Cease, how bad did the Saints screw up on this one?
Oh, dude, it was really bad, really really bad. Because now I think their quarterback room is. Hold on, let me. Or you want to double check?
It's Jack Hayner,
Law.
Tyler Shaw or whatever,
Uh
and
huh.
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. Yeah. So it's like, dude, like, what are you guys doing?
Well, hold on. And to make matters worse, Jake Hayner got hurt.
Okay.
So Jake Hayner is going to miss all of the off-season portion. He will be back for training camp,
Yep.
but he's missing all of the OTAs.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
yeah,
So I mean I think the starter is gonna be Rattler in like for like a game or two, and then they'll put in Tyler Shaw, which Tyler Shaw is like what is it, 26-year old?
yeah, he's the next generation. He's the next not generation. Fuck, what's the word, bro? He's the next coming of Chris Wanky.
Yeah, 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 yep, yep, yep. And they're like, oh, this super senior.
Yeah, super duper senior, bro. He's coming into the league and he's 3 years younger than fucking Fred Warner, who's been in the league for 7 years.
Yep, yep.
That
Oh,
to put it in
dog.
context, right? We just
So
talked about Fred Warner. We're like, oh shit, I thought Fred Warner was older. Fred Warner is 28 years old. He's been in the league 7 years. Here comes a rookie who hasn't played an NFL game and he's 25 years old. Um,
26. I last I heard he was 26
no,
already.
he's 25. He'll
Oh,
be
okay, okay.
26 at the end of September. So during the
Oh, okay.
season, he will be 26. So
Ooh.
he will be 2 years younger than Fred
But
Warner.
honestly, it was weird because Derek Carr announced his retirement, but then the story came out that he was actually calling or like putting in phone calls to other teams to see what their interest is with him and their quarterback situation. And but I think none of those teams that whoever Derek Carr called, I guess, weren't interested in him.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? Why is like did he just like try to get himself out of that team because something's going on? And you know what? And I kind of investigated it a little.
Yeah.
I think the reason why he's getting out is because I don't know if you heard about this Saints and the Catholic Church investigation that's going on.
No. Do tell. What better
Okay.
time?
Okay, so right now it's like I think the story broke in February or something like that. Pretty much the Catholic Church has a scandal on their hand which deals with child abuse.
What?
Some
Again?
priest yeah, some priest, deacon or whatever it was being investigated for, molesting kids, I think, in the church.
Right?
This uh church member or deacon or whatever I think it was, he goes to, of course, the Saints organization. He talks to
Mm.
one of their executives, and asks, pretty much asks him like, "Yo, can you help me with this
Situation?
story, this situation getting out to the media, or can you talk to the media and tell them not to run this story or to bury the story or mention it, but don't put it out as much."
Right, right.
What the Saints actually do is say, "Okay, we'll help you." So what I think that's how it goes. So what this executive Saints does, I guess he gets other Saints employees involved or executives
Right,
from the NFL team, and they go, try to bury the story pretty much.
right.
Now it comes out in this, I believe it was an article written by a local news station there in New Orleans, that the church had a scandal, went to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints said, "Yes, we'll help you," and then they try to bury the story.
Hmm.
I was like, "What?"
Hmm.
And now I think the NFL found out, and now the NFL is investigating the Saints because they're like, "How dumb are you guys to like get involved with this?
Huh.
Couldn't somebody just say no? We're not gonna help you." Why? I think the NFL is gonna drop the hammer on the Saints
Yeah.
because honestly, it's dumb. The obvious question: why do you guys get your asses involved in this? You guys were not involved. Why?
Huh.
And I think that's the reason why Derek Carr said, "You know what? I'm out. Like I don't want to play with you guys because you guys are a bunch of idiots up there." And that's it. Are
Huh.
you? Are you? What are you looking at now?
I'm looking at that. I'm looking
Yeah,
that
that's
shit
why.
up. So I typed in something and I got NFL emails reveal extent of Saints damage control for clergy sex abuse crisis.
Exactly.
This was back in February,
February.
updated February 3rd, 2025. I haven't seen an update on that since, but
Yeah, I haven't either.
that is interesting.
But
Um,
you notice how like the story's not out, so the NFL does not want this out. So I'm sure they're using all their media power also to bury the story, don't mention it, telling all your media members, all your media guys that come in, don't mention this Saints Catholic Church scandal. If you do, we're cutting your credentials and you
yeah.
can't report here. So yeah, dude, it's
Sheesh. Look at this. It
and
says
yeah, go for it.
Republicans, Representative Mandy Landry, a Democrat from New Orleans, said, "This is disgusting. As a New Orleans resident, taxpayer, and Catholic, it doesn't make any sense to me why the Saints would go to these lengths to protect grown men who raped children. All of them should have just been as horrified as the allegations." The Saints told the AP last week that partnership is a thing of the past. That the emails cover a year-long period ending in July 2019 when they were subpoenaed by attorneys for victims of a priest later charged with raping an 8-year-old boy. Oof. Oh,
It's
that is
bad.
no bueno. Um, which would be interesting because I know Derek Carr is a highly religious person.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
so I mean I guess there's some where there's smoke there's fire. So I mean
Yeah.
it's not a crazy conspiracy. Um, but if that was the case, I would also think other teams would have at least said, you know what, Derek Carr, we'll give you a backup role. Now whether he wanted the backup role or not, that's different, right? Because he is 34 years old.
But I also think he does have a shoulder injury.
He
I
definitely has a shoulder injury.
Yeah, I do think he has a shoulder injury. I don't know if it's like season career-ending shoulder injury, but I think he just wants out. Like, I don't want to deal with you guys. You guys are a bunch of idiots up there
So
just for making this decision. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I gotta assume shoulder injuries are no joke, especially for quarterbacks. Dude, I hurt my shoulder going on 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one of my daughter's practices, where my stupid ass decided to play catcher, and I had one of the girls pitching to me, and then I was trying to throw the girls out at second base. So
Okay.
I wanted to make them run, right? So I was making them sprint from first base all the way to second base. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was gunning it, but
Yeah.
like I hadn't stretched. I didn't think anything of it. Like I felt my arm was a little like hurting a little bit during practice. I was like, all right, whatever. But I finished, and I mean, we did that shit for about an hour. Dude, we're going on 3 weeks, almost a month. My
Yeah.
shoulder is shot right now, bro. It is shot. I mean, I missed Monday this week because my shoulder just for whatever I don't know what I did this weekend that my shoulder was killing me. I can't wipe my ass, bro, without my
Yeah.
shoulder hurting that bad. So I can't even imagine for like NFL players, like
Yeah.
what their shoulders are like, especially a quarterback, right? Um, so I'm sure there's some significant shit there that like doctors were like, if you were maybe 25 and you had this injury, maybe you're
Yeah.
34 with this injury, not so much, right? Because
Yep.
I that plays a part, bro. I've never been hurt other than breaking a bone and then you got to sit out. But like I've never had something linger as long as this shit is lingering.
Yep.
So I can imagine that at 34. Now, there's a big difference. He's 34. I'd give anything to be 34 right now too.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, dude, there's something there too. But yeah, that's interesting that you said. That is a very interesting conspiracy right there.
yeah, bro. That's why I was
Wow.
like, and also like the way I'm thinking is like I think Shador Sanders and his family, Deion Sanders, pretty much also said to the Saints, "Don't draft my son because he's not gonna play with you guys."
Hmm.
Why? Because I believe it's because of this whole story scandal
Really?
that's going on with the yes,
Okay.
because obviously it's like I want to say the Saints are smart and they do know what they're doing
Right.
because there should be somebody smart up there in the Saints front office be like, let's take Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders clearly is better than Tyler Shaw, but
Right.
I think Shador Sanders, his family, Dion said, we don't want to play with you guys. Why? Because we feel you guys are idiots up there with this whole scandal, and I think that the NFL is going to drop the hammer on you guys, and we don't want to be involved with that. So, and I think that's why they passed on because they passed on a lot of good quarterbacks until they got Tyler Shaw, and it's like, isn't somebody going to be like, yo, we should draft like multiple quarterbacks, not just Tyler Shaw,
Yeah.
like
The
you know?
25-year-old rookie.
Yeah. So it's like, dude. So yeah, I have a feeling Shadur Sanders didn't want to play with the Saints, and I don't think anybody wants to play with the Saints because it's like, dude, you guys are idiots.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
That
bro.
is an
What?
interesting theory. And
Yeah.
now let's segue onto Shadur Sanders.
Mhm.
Shadur Sanders got passed by a lot of people. And in our previous podcast, I think we talked about Shadur Sanders and how far he fell and how that draft went. And we talked about when he finally went to the Browns, the War Room video image did not show that
Yeah.
they were happy, right? Normally, when they go into a war room and they just picked, you see guys are high fiving each other, bro hugging each other, like, yeah, yeah, we made the right pick, cool, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then, literally, when they did the Shadur Sanders, you got the two main dudes were like this,
Yeah. They're still sitting down. Yeah.
just sitting, just staring at the fucking camera, like, man, fuck my job. And it came to light that supposedly the owner of the Browns was like, yo, you need to take him right now. So it sounds like there were some issues there. It sounds like they weren't too happy about it, but the owner at the end of the day said, I'm going to Jerry Jones his shit. And I
Yep.
went in and I want you to take Shador Sanders.
And
Um,
I think I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or a couple weeks ago on this podcast. Like, yeah, that's the reason why the Browns are the Browns because they have two brains working up there. Like the front office, general manager, head coach, and then they have the owner making decisions. Where and it's like none of those are like together. Like they just say like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that,
yeah.
and they always make mistakes. And it came out that Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, like, oh that Christian Watt, what is it, Watson contract? He's like, yeah, that's my
Mm-hmm.
fault.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's your fault, yes, correct, but like, shouldn't you be listening to your general managers and your coaches and shit? Not just go with your gut feeling, like, oh yeah, let me go with it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so yeah, it's bad. It's bad for the Browns. I mean, looking at it now, I think Shadur Sanders has a shot to make the team and probably be a starter, but it's the Browns. It's like, oh man, hopefully they provide him with a good solid team that he could grow. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. It's the Browns.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, it is the Browns. And I find it hard for his name not to make the team.
Yeah,
And he's not going to go to the practice squad because if he goes to the practice squad, someone's going to snatch him up, right?
yeah,
But it is
and
interesting.
I
Did
think, like, sorry, I
no,
think
go ahead.
like you said, like the owner said he picked him, so I think the owner's gonna be like, yo, he makes the team
Oh
no matter what,
yeah.
you know. So yeah,
Yeah, he makes a team.
yep,
Yeah, I think we have a Jerry Jones
hmm,
scenario in Cleveland,
yeah.
um, which makes you wonder too. It's like if he had this much pull with Shador Sanders, was he around when they did the Deshaun Watson shit?
Who?
The Haslam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure he had a lot to do with the Deshaun Watson contract.
Oh, the owner Jimmy Haslam, he's the one that came out recently and said also, like, yeah, this contract with what is it, Watson?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Deshaun
his
Watson.
contract, Deshaun Watson. This contract with Deshaun Watson is mine and his wife D Haslam. Yeah, it's mine and D Haslam's fault. Like we, swung and miss. That's the word he says. We swung and miss.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, you could tell like this came up from his decision,
oh.
and I'm sure the rest of the general manager was like, I don't think that's a good thing, but it's your team, it's your money, do it then, and that's
I'll
it.
never understand that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
why do you hire people to not let them make their own decisions?
Yep. Yep.
I will never understand that. Like, I I've struggled with that in the workplace before in the past, where you get hired somewhere or you have a somebody in the company that makes decisions, but you're like, yo, then why the fuck do you hire people if you're gonna make the decisions that you hired them to make? Why the fuck you hire them? Like
That's Jerry Jones.
Jerry
That's
Jones, Jimmy
yep.
Haslam, apparently.
Jimmy Haslam. Yep. Hmm.
That is interesting to me.
Yeah, it's just crazy, dude. And like that's why looking at my team, the 49ers, that's why I don't yes, I do love my owner Jed York, but
Right.
I respect him because he stays out, the stays out of the business. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, you got the general manager, your coach, let them make the decision. They get paid big money to make this type of decision.
Right. Right.
And it should be like that, like, all right, you guys make it, I'll provide the money, but that you want the correct decision to be made at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jimmy Haslam and Deshaun Watson, yeah, that was the owner's fault. And yeah, I mean, we'll see if how Shador pans out.
That is interesting.
Hmm.
That is interesting. All right. Well, let's talk about a teammate of Shador Sanders. And I'd like to get your thoughts on this season
Hmm.
and what you think about it. But recently, video of his Shador Sanders' go-to receiver at Colorado, Mr. Travis Hunter, which
Hmm.
we all know and say, hey, look, this guy's a stud. He was an amazing receiver in college and also a good defensive back in college.
Yeah.
Played both ways. Um, they've been making a big deal on social media about his route running as a receiver.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's one clip, right? I mean, there's a
Hmm.
couple videos in that clip or a couple of different routes that he ran on that clip, and some of them didn't look crisp. But there's one that's a bit of a comeback. That one looked really
Yeah.
rough, but it could be attributed to he just ran the wrong route. But any truth to him struggling in his route running, or do you think it's just social media kind of just making a big deal about a one-time practice so far?
I think it's both. I think it is his route running. I don't think it's there yet, but of course it's. I think it was Ricky Camp that they took that video from or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can tell he wasn't conditioned yet. He's still. I'm sure he's gonna get training how to run your routes and all that stuff.
Right.
But he was primarily used as a defensive back in Colorado, so I think he should worry about that being a
Right.
defensive back. Um, but hopefully we do get to see him go receiver and play two ways because that is exciting.
Right.
But at the same time, it is about clicks. It is about doing social media and making sure you get people's eyeballs on your page
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because right now it is slow. The NFL is off, pretty much off season. There's only baseball that's highlighting and basketball, so it's like it's slow. Like they're trying to
Yeah.
get you to click and be like, "Oh yes, I like this video." But I mean, Travis Hunter, the only benefit that he has is that it's early in the off season. He still has time to work on his footwork, and I'm sure he's going to get coached up by the receivers coach and
mm-hmm.
other
Mm-hmm.
veteran receivers there. So I'm not worried, but there is a little worry because it's like
Yeah.
those are shitty ass routes. They were
Yeah, it was
bad.
rough, right? Yeah, like
Yeah, they
okay, I
were
get it.
bad.
Like the comeback one was the worst. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that one was bad. But again, the more I thought about it, I'm like, maybe he ran the wrong route and he tried to adjust to it or whatever. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh, those are bad. But I will say, like, for us who have watched college football and the NFL long enough to know, it's like the receivers that normally like it's hard to find a receiver that's got the physical traits,
Mhm.
right? The height, the amount of years in college, and that has like speed and can catch and is a perfect route runner. Like those don't come around too long, right? They don't
Yeah.
come too often. Like how many times like you're like, okay, well, he's a 4 or 5 guy, but his route running is insane, right? So he's
Yeah.
like, you get this guy in the second round because he's just not fast enough to cause separation, but his route running is so perfect that you're like, he's going to get some separation because of his route running, right? And then you've got the receivers that just like are physically like gods, and they're
Mhm.
like men amongst boys, and like their route running isn't crisp, but they're good enough, God given talent to separate to get the ball and they can box out. It's rare when you find someone with God given talent and size and fucking speed
Yep.
and route running. It's
Mhm.
so hard to find both. So I'm with you on the fact that I'm like, I think they might be making a bigger deal of it than it really is. Um, it also depends on like in none of those videos do you see the quarterback throwing the ball.
Yeah.
So we
Mhm.
don't know how far off the quarterback threw the ball as well.
Or if it
Um,
is a quarterback, it's probably like a assistant, coach and shit,
right,
just throwing it to him.
right. So I'm with you on that one. It is something to watch because
Mhm.
you don't really see that often at the pro level to see it look so shaky.
Yeah.
But I do think it's like you said, it's slow, so it's a matter of clicks.
Mhm.
Because the
Mhm.
only video that's out there is the same video. We're not getting
Yeah.
different
Yeah. Yeah.
angles of
Yeah.
that video,
Exactly.
right? We're getting the same video in different channels, and they're like, "Oh, Travis Hunter looks like shit." And it's like,
Yep.
all right, but it's the same video, guys. Whoever cut this and splices, you guys are all recycling it.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm curious to see that one too. I'm gonna wait on it. I'm gonna pause on it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't think there's anything to worry about it yet. He's a rookie, and I think we all know this by now that in the NFL, tight end and right receiver are some of the hardest positions to really transition into to have success right
Yeah.
away
Mhm.
as a rookie. So we'll wait to see, but it is definitely when it's Travis Hunter and the numbers that he put up, I guess the expectations are a little higher. So I could see why it's a little
But
harder.
he does need a lot of work. You could tell. A lot
Right.
of like even the receivers I've heard on podcasts, they're like, yeah, he's young, of course, but he does need like just simple footwork to get off the ball and make sure he's not, too many steps. That's what I heard from the podcast that I've heard. Like he's just taking too many steps. He needs to learn just to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. Make it room.
Do you think he got drafted on just pure talent?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
he is good. Like I said, he is a good, exceptional cornerback.
Right.
But everybody's like, is he a receiver? He could play. He is athletic, but he needs a lot of training as a receiver. They said. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. All right. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for football
I
because
know.
like you mentioned, it is kind of slow. There isn't a lot of things going on. It'll start to wrap up pretty quick for us. I can't wait.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we'll do a deep dive for the NFL schedule and everything, and
Yeah, and
for
then we'll
sure.
have we'll have fantasy football coming up. Oh, you know what? I do got a
Yeah.
question for you. What do you think about the NFL? Sorry, not the NFL. Our homie fantasy football league.
Hmm.
Um, going on a off-site travel or draft or whatever. Are we doing that? Did we decide?
No, I
Are
think
we
the
going back
decision.
to Booger's house?
Yeah, I think the decision is probably going back to Booger's house. I
That's
was down. Look,
that's
I was down
lame.
to go to your house.
I
I
was
was kind of
surprised at their
hoping.
response, bro. But that was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's all Prime. Prime wants to go
Yeah.
get his fix on. I don't know what the hell's up with Prime, bro. He wants to get his fix on.
Uh, I was gonna say, yo, they do got like strip clubs in Arizona
I
down
don't know
there,
what the
but
hell's up with Prime, bro. He was like,
they got
no, it's
bars.
Vegas. I'm like,
I don't know, but I mean,
the
it is
majority of us aren't
Vegas.
trying to hit that up, Prime.
I know, true, but I'm like, dude, I was. I would have said let's go to your house
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it is Arizona. It is offsite. It is to me Arizona is cool. I mean,
yeah,
there are bars. I'm sure we could
yeah.
go and you could take us and
Oh,
be like, hey, you guys,
The Scottsdale like bar hop. That's pretty dope, bro. It's
yeah.
pretty cool. You know.
And,
Um.
and I'm sure you could take us and show us and be like, oh, if
Yeah.
you want to go, see the strippers, all right, go,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah. We could have done
But
that. That's not a biggie, but yeah,
yeah, he was like,
he's
no, I'll
uh,
go Vegas, and I was like,
yeah.
ah, all right. And then I think who else
I
said
was
it?
even down to do Big Bear though. Big Bear was
Yeah,
cool. I was like, all right, we do Big Bear. I don't mind doing Big Bear.
I was down with it too. I think we should go offsite one of these times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it would be fun, but yeah, we just got to get a head count, and we got to know exactly who's gonna go and who's not gonna go,
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I
and
already
that's it.
blocked that date off for whatever we're
Yeah,
doing. I already blocked it off. That's fine. But yeah, I
yeah.
thought that was interesting. I was like, again, no disrespect to Booger's house. I'm cool if we do it at Booger's house, but I would like an offsite
Hmm.
one. That was pretty dope. I don't really care to do it in Vegas. I will say that. Like, I don't want to pay the prices. I don't want to. I don't know. It's just like I don't know, bro. Vegas is played out, but maybe it's
Yeah.
because I don't know. I don't know. Vegas is
I
played
mean,
out.
I'm sure it'll be fun if we get a place that could host us making the the draft.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, oh, okay, let's go to the hotel room and do the draft there, it's like,
Oh,
ah,
that'll be whack, bro. I ain't gonna go to
we have,
fucking do a draft in a hotel room, bro.
yeah, like, oh, bro, I'm sure we could go get a restaurant and have them host it.
Yeah, for
But
reals.
like, damn, do we really? How much is it gonna be that? Or and then we gotta pay the room and all that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ah.
but I mean, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think for right now, the plan is just going to boogers.
Ugh.
I think that's what everybody's like. Look, I think we have more shot that people show up. The majority of owners show up at boogers. So I was like, all right, whatever. So let's just go there and. But man, I
Yeah.
mean, I'll try to push your place again.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but if
Yeah. No,
anything, next.
I think they're afraid of the heat, so I don't mind that. That's fine, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'd be much happier if you just came down with your fam and we hang out. But yeah, like
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, that I don't know that we can convince them on the heat. Um, but whatever, it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna skip baseball. There's not a lot going on. It's a long ass season.
Yep.
Dodgers, I think, are still in first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. But I know
Um,
they won today versus the Mets.
yeah, barely hanging on.
Yeah.
By the way, I will say, as a LA native and a
Hmm.
secondary Dodgers fan, because I don't claim as a primary Dodgers fan, I claim as a Guardians fan. Um, I was at the dealer yesterday dropping off my car, um, and the technician there apparently turned out to be, or one of the service advisors turned out to be an Angels fan. And
Oh
the car
shit.
behind me pulled up, and I guess they were from LA as well, and they're getting their shit serviced and dropped off their keys, and he was over there talking shit. He was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can help you with your keychain though," and it was a Dodgers fan. I was like, "Hey, don't you talk shit about LA? Don't you talk shit about the Dodgers?" Um, and he was like, "Hey, I got my Halo on," and I was like, "Oh, I already knew that he was gloating because Dodgers got swept recently by the
Yeah.
Angels, so I already knew. But at least he knew his spot, right? He knew his place. He was
Uh,
like, well, he was like, that's all we have. Dodgers are gonna make the playoffs. We're not. So
oh,
a sweep is our moral victory. I was like,
Angels.
all right, I'll
Yeah,
give you that.
Angels fans have been going through it. Oof, so long. And let's not talk about those things. It's bad for
No,
the Angels. It's bad
no,
for the Angels.
sorry, Angels fans. I'm an American League fan, but sorry, Angels fans. Nope.
Yeah, no.
Sorry. No, no, no good. And then NBA playoffs going on.
It's
We're
that's Knicks versus Pacers. Pacers are up 2-0 in the series.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
they won 2 games in New York. And I think the other game is Oklahoma versus the Thunder. That's Burley. Game one was yesterday, and then Oklahoma won that one. So yeah, that's it. I mean it. like like I told you off air, I'm like these are teams that are like away from us. Like we
Yeah,
really don't care. Like
yeah.
I don't care about Minnesota, Oklahoma, the Knicks, New York, or Indiana. So I was like, I don't care. I'll
No,
watch it, but I'm not paying attention to it that
no.
much.
And we're sports fans, so it's like
Yeah,
we'll have it on in the background. We'll have some info. We're gonna look into the information as it is, but like if you're a basketball fan coming out here for some content, I apologize.
sorry.
Um, we don't really. we'll probably get into it a little bit more once it's in the finals.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Kind of like when we covered March Madness. Didn't really cover the regular season of college basketball. Maybe cover it a little bit in there, but yeah, no. Unless it's the Lakers that are in it, or the other LA team, which is the Clippers,
Yep.
yeah, we're not really gonna care too much about basketball. Um, the other thing that the other sport that we've kind of been covering, right, and that we're
Mhm.
kind of really well, I've been into for a bit. You recently started watching it, so kudos to you for that, man.
Yep.
Um, is F1, and the last
Yes,
time we had
sir.
a podcast, we did not have a race, so there was a race in between, which was last weekend, which is part of the 3 weekends in a row of the European kind of leg for F1. Is
Mhm.
they had the Imola race in Italy. Uh, did you get a chance to watch that, or did you at least just
No.
catch up on some
I saw
highlights?
the highlights. I know Max pretty much took over the lead in the first turn with a beautiful take.
Mm-hmm.
Um and that's it. That's all I heard. Like, man, after that Max was just gone and that's it. I was like, "Ooh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay." But yeah, that's it. I didn't see the race, but I'm definitely trying to see this Sunday's race, Monaco. Because
Yeah.
I know it's a big one. So okay.
Yeah. So Monaco is a traditional race.
Yeah.
This year's a little different, but let's start with Imola. Imola was a great race.
Yeah.
I will say Verstappen won me some money. I put some money
Oh,
down on
okay.
Verstappen. Um, yeah, man, it was one of those races where he just took over from the start.
Yeah.
Oscar Piastri from McLaren, he had the pole. Um, and Piastri, he's won I think 4 races this season, so it's he's doing great, and he's the leader right now in the drivers' standings. So
Mhm.
he's got the lead right now. But at the end of the day, I've mentioned it before. To me, Verstappen is the Tom Brady of F1. You're either going to love him or you're going to hate him. I'm in the camp of like I've never really been a big fan of Verstappen, but now I'm starting to get into a point where you got to respect this fucking dude.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, dude, on that first turn, on that first corner, god damn, bro, like if you watch F1 and you really start to appreciate that move that he busted, dude, you're like, holy shit, bro. It like the way it went is he got a bad start, right? So Verstappen was second, Piastri was first. I think Lando Norris was third, and I think
Yeah.
Russell was fourth. Verstappen got a bad start, and I think out of nowhere, fucking George Russell came in. And at one point, dude, it looked like Verstappen was gonna get third or maybe fourth, and Verstappen just went in late into that turn, bro. And the way he did it on the outside to take first,
Mhm.
holy shit, bro, that was ballsy. That was a hell of a
Yeah.
move. Um, and you got to respect it. Now, like I told you off air, like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, depending on what side of the coin you land on, you're like that's a dick move or that's a hell of a move.
Yep.
Um, like my sister in law, she's a huge Piastri fan. She didn't take too kindly to that move. She thought it was a dick move. She thought he was looking for contact. She thought it was overly aggressive. I and my wife, who are not Verstappen fans or
Mhm.
Red Bull fans anymore, we were Red Bull fans when Checo was there. Um, we still acknowledge that it was a hell of a move. We're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, like that is a hell of a move, and he made it work. And I think later on, Piastri admitted, like, yeah, he braked early. Maybe he shouldn't have braked early, but he did.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those where it's like that's that difference, right, between a champion and someone trying to be a champion, right? Like
Yeah.
you know what it takes. You got to be cutthroat and you got to respect it. And that was a hell of a move, dude. So it was a good race. It looked like at one point, um, Verstappen was pulling away, and once again, McLaren is known for like right now they've got really good drivers. They've got two number one drivers, pretty much.
Mhm.
I think either one can win the championship, and they've got the car to do so. But one of the things that it's their crutch is their strategy. God, these guys are just sometimes, dude. They could be dumb as shit with their
Yeah.
strategy, and the way they kind of did their strategy bit them in the ass when there was like a safety car that came out and it didn't really help for them. So it looked like the race was over for them and Verstappen was going to be long gone. But then, luckily for them, there was another safety car, so that bunched up the group, and it looked like they had a chance to catch Verstappen. Uh, but again, they still kind of, I feel like they still kind of botched that one because they were trying to decide if they were going to let Lando Norris pass Piastri up, maybe thinking he
Okay.
had a better chance to catch Verstappen. But again, because they got two number one drivers, their strategy
They
is kind of really weird in that,
they
like,
can't decide
they can't
who
decide. Right, right, right,
yeah.
exactly. So I think it's gonna bite them in the ass towards the end of the season. I think that's gonna come to a head. I think you can only manage it for so long. I think
Mm.
it's really gonna bite them in the ass, and someone's not gonna be happy, whether it's Piastri or whether it's Lando Norris. But something's got to give there, and I don't think it's gonna go well. But yeah, that eventually Verstappen pulled away, and it was a wrap.
Yeah.
Got me some money. So yeah, that was a really good race, all in all. Ferrari didn't look good except for Hamilton,
Mhm.
who was like 12th, and he worked his way up to like fourth.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, it was a really good race. I enjoyed it, and it wasn't bad. And then this weekend we've got Monaco.
Mhm.
Monaco is
Mhm.
a traditional race. It's been in Formula One forever and a day. The only thing about it though is like it's so historic, but it's also been known to be a snooze fest
Yeah.
because it is a street circuit, and it's really
It's
hard to
hard to
pass.
pass.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's hard to pass, and so most of the time, like, it's not a lot. There's not a lot going on, and usually the
Mhm.
guy in first stays in
Wins
first.
it.
Uh,
Yeah.
so you kind of fall asleep and you're like, whatever. But F1's an entertainment company, right? At the end of the day, like, I think they've gone more towards entertainment, like the NFL, and
Yeah.
so they do whatever it takes to make sure that you've got some entertainment value and that you're retaining people. So they've
Mhm.
changed up their bit of a formula. So I don't know if you heard, but normally Monaco is a one-stop race, right? So you only got to come in once, and you got to change, your tires. So you got to run two different compounds, right? So if you start with the soft tires, you got to go either hard or mediums, or if you start with the mediums, you got to go soft or hard, whatever.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This time they're changing it. It's a two-stop race.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're hoping that it being a two-stop race becomes more of a strategy, which causes more changes, which makes it a little bit more dramatic, and hopefully it's not a snooze fest.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
see how that goes. But um, last year's winner, which I think was Charles Leclerc for
Yeah.
Ferrari,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, so far he was the fastest guy in FP2, which is practice number two.
F1, FP1, and FP2.
Yeah, yep, he was the fastest guy. So we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes tomorrow at 3:30 in the morning, your time and my time. It's going to be
Yeah.
FP3, and then qualifying tomorrow, I think, is at 7 in the morning
Yep.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Red Bull is struggling. Um, I think Red Bull came in 10th with Max Verstappen
Yeah.
and Yuki, the other driver for Red Bull, 10th and
11.
11th. So we see how that's going. But then Piastri came in second. So usually FP2 is towards the end, they kind of do a qualifying run. So it kind of gives you a better idea as to where they're at. So we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, man. So far, McLaren's a team to beat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now I know you mentioned something about the conspiracy theory with McLaren.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but what's your thought on the whole McLaren and the tires? How they or explain to us what is it? If you know more about it, explain to us that don't know, the
Yeah.
tires or what they're talking about with McLaren and their tires, and that's why they're
Yeah.
winning so many races,
Yeah.
and that's why they're up there with two good drivers, and
Yeah.
usually first, second, or third in the in the standings.
Yeah. So what F1 really comes down to is, like, it's all really strictly regulated, right? And so what I
Hmm.
think at the end of the day is you do whatever you can to get away with whatever you can, whatever
Yeah.
tiny advantage you can get. And these cars are so fine tuned that the tiniest bit of advantage is going to give you a huge advantage. And so the early rumor or the early conspiracy that was going on, and I think Red Bull might have started it, right? And there's this nice little rivalry between Red Bull and McLaren, was that
Hmm.
they said, no, they're putting water into their tires. a little bit of water into the tires so that way their tires run a little bit cooler, because there
Mhm.
was thermal imaging that shows that the rear tires on the back of a McLaren run a little bit cooler than the rear tires on everyone else's cars. And
Mm.
so if you've got rear tire grip, that's a huge advantage. And, this whole drama came up, and Pirelli, which is a tire manufacturer for or sponsor for F1, they looked into the tires and said, no, there's nothing there. That's not true. But recently, one of the things that came up that hasn't been talked about or inspected, and I don't know if it will or not, but this was one of kind of the commentators that mentioned it for F1. In fact, is there's this little like inlet by the rear tires that
Mhm.
has a funnel that it comes in from one end, and then as it comes out towards the rear, there's three sections, right? And it's almost like one section goes towards the tire and the brakes, and the two other sections kind of funnel out to create either uh downforce or whatever, right? But it splits into three. And what they noticed was that the vent or the opening that comes out from that's a splits three ways, is the one closest to the tire and the brakes is cooler than the other two.
Okay. Okay.
And that could be why their tires last a little bit longer, or they don't degrade, or they handle a little bit better,
Mm.
is because somehow it's getting cooler air towards that area, but they don't know how. Because in theory, like, you can't, there's nothing you can do in the regulations to allow for you to create a system that will cool the air other than the air being pushed through whatever channels
Mhm.
that you create in your ductwork. And
Okay.
so, but if the rest of the air is coming out the same temperature, how is it that that air that's coming out towards the tire and the brake is considerably cooler?
Mm.
And
Okay.
that was something that hasn't been inspected, because that's not something that teams have complained about.
Mhm.
So I'm really curious to see if they're going to mention anything about that. But at the end of the day, it's one of those where it's like, it's not cheating until you get caught,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I mean, New England Patriots knew all about that shit, right? It's it.
They used
It's
to.
an interpretation of the rules. It's not cheating until you get caught. So, and even then, once you get caught, and if you've already had the success, what are you gonna do? It's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Um, so
Okay.
that's been the interesting part. But it's like, I think every team does it. If
Mhm.
it's not the tires, it was the wing, talking about a flex
Yeah.
wing or whatever. It flexes under certain speeds when it's not supposed to. Eh, you know, when it's about multi-million dollars, and when everything is supposed to be identical spec and everything else, they're always going to find something to gain an advantage of. And
Yeah.
when one team finds the advantage and the other teams don't, the rest of the teams are always going to complain.
Yeah. Of course. But I mean, at the same time, you got to salute them and be like, "Yo, you found a loophole,"
Right.
and salute. Like, good job.
Right. 100%. The only thing,
Yeah.
like I said before in the previous podcast, was I just don't like the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Mhm.
when Red Bull was dominating, it was, oh, they're cheating. They must be doing something wrong, blah, 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 because they're smoking the competition. It's like,
Mhm.
well, where are those people now that McLaren is smoking the competition?
Yeah.
Right? So it is what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's just motorsports in general, um,
Mhm.
when it comes to cheating, or finding that little bit of an advantage of what you claim.
Yeah.
Speaking about cheating, did you hear about the
Good.
drama in Indy?
No, no. I did hear about it, but I didn't look into it or investigate it. But yeah, let me know what it is. What's it about?
So in Indy,
I know
um,
the Indy 500 race is this weekend Sunday
yes,
on Fox. Trust me.
you're not biased at all.
uh,
Um, yes, so Indy 500 is this weekend, which I will also be keeping an eye on. I don't
okay.
really track Indy as much, which is
Hmm.
another racing series, open wheel racing, just like F1, a little bit different in terms of rules. But there's a big scandal going on right now in Indy, which is two. I think it's two or well, I know for sure two of the Penske, Roger Penske
Okay.
teams, two cars were penalized and found to be cheating or at least out
Okay.
of compliance. And there's a part of the suspension that kind of attaches to, like, I guess the body or whatever. And obviously, like when you attach it, there's a gap, right? Like you see how my hands are. There's a gap.
Yeah.
Well, these dudes somehow they meshed it together or welded it together. So basically, there's no seams.
Oh, okay.
And there's no that's not allowed, period. It's very
Yeah.
clear that that's not
Okay.
allowed because obviously if you close those gaps you're reducing drag, and like in
Mhm.
F1 any kind of advantage can be a huge advantage. And
Okay.
Penske, especially at the Indy 500 track, has had success, a lot of success there. And they also would have had success during qualifying. To make matters worse, they claim a conflict of interest because guess who owns that track?
Penske. Yeah.
Roger Penske owns the track.
Yeah.
And so there's, you know, teams complained about it. Indy looked into it. They say, yo, you're not allowed to do that. What the fuck? So they tried to allow them to fix it. Ultimately, they couldn't fix it. So they received their penalties. Now they're starting at the back of the grid, from what I understand. There's
Mhm.
a big deal because had they been disqualified, some teams that barely got bumped would have now made the Indy 500. So there's that aspect of it, right? Now you've got the whole drama of Roger Penske and the conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Now they just recently fired three big time dudes from the teams.
Mhm.
People who are now claiming that they're just scapegoats. That they're only doing what they were told. Um, but I saw an interesting article on or I don't know if it's an article or video or whatever on ESPN.
Yeah.
And no, I take it back. No, it wasn't on ESPN. It was a podcast, which is an
Mhm.
F1 podcast, which is not the funny. But like they were talking about that the rumor has been that Penske has been doing this for a minute,
Oh,
for a
okay.
hot minute. And that's why the conspiracy is getting bigger and bigger and bigger because it's starting to
Okay.
become a black eye for Indy right now. And the fact that in Indy, I don't know
Mhm.
if this happens for F1. I don't think so. But in Indy, the winning car goes and gets put on museum. You don't get to use that
Oh,
car
okay.
anymore. Put that car in a fucking museum.
Okay.
Well, last year Penske won the Indy 500. So
Oh,
people
and they.
went to go look at that car at the museum, and guess what they saw? The
Oh
same
shit.
thing had been done to that car. So that, bro, is very interesting. So there's no proof that it's been that way in other races. They can't prove it
Yeah.
because they don't have access to those cars. But for sure, the winner from Indy 500 of last year has that shit done as well.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
is a huge, and so it's like, why aren't you stripping them of that championship then?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, dude. It's a big deal. If you get a chance, look into the cheating scandal.
I'm gonna look
I
into
went
it,
down a
man, because I
rabbit
want
hole.
to see that picture.
Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole, bro. It was pretty good actually. It wasn't one of those where like, oh, you're reaching.
Oh, okay.
No, it was pretty good, bro.
Yeah, when
Like,
you go to the museum and see the cars there, oh yeah, I'm sure it's like, oh damn, this is big. Oh shit.
yeah, it's a
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good scandal, bro. It's a pretty big black eye for for um for Indy or whatever. And
Oh, I'm
Penske has
sure.
three cars, and they all suspected all three cars would have been towards the front. One of them crashed, so they didn't even bother to deal with that one. But the two that would have been towards the front got put to the back.
Damn.
Um, so yeah, dude.
But like you said, he's the owner of the track, so I'm sure he has some
Right?
pull there. Like, yo, don't kick him out, just throw him into the back.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
that's very interesting.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. That
That's
is
crazy.
very interesting. So we'll see, but I will be watching the Indy 500 as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
I used to be big into indie when it used to be called, what was it called, IRL before, or was it called
Yeah.
Cart or whatever? I think it was
No.
called Cart at
Was
one
it?
point.
No.
Yeah, I think it was called Cart, fool.
What's CART stand for?
I don't know. They called it Cart,
No,
right?
it used to be called IRL in the Indie
Indie.
Racing League.
Okay, so indie, and then I'm gonna type in Cart. All right, versus Cart. So, no, yeah. See, there was. I guess there was two different. Yeah, see, there was two different ones.
Oh, okay. I
Cart
didn't know
was
that.
Championship Auto Racing Teams,
Oh, okay.
and then IndyCar,
Never heard of
formerly
those.
IRL, which was Indy Racing League, where rival
Yeah.
open racing. Um, so there was two different ones. Yeah. So I used to watch
Okay.
when it was the two different ones or whatever. And then
Okay.
I fell off of that shit. But all right, okay, okay, okay. Now,
No, I gotta keep an eye on that though.
yeah,
Now
dude,
that you
look into
mention
it.
it,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would love to hear what you think if you look into that whole cheating scandal for Indy.
Okay.
That would be
Okay.
pretty cool. Uh, Speaking of interesting, where do you stand on Severance? Have you given
Yes.
in? Now, I remember in our last
Mhm.
podcast, you were torn between not wanting to watch season two because
Yeah.
you wanted to wait till season three was out, right?
Mhm.
So that you could watch all of that together. Are you still on that stance? Are you still dying on that hill?
Nah, man. I took the leap. I'm in season two. I'm in season two already. Two episodes
Woo!
in.
Okay.
Watching the whole like after they get off of the whole what is it the overtime what is it called again
The like
the overtime
contingency, right?
contingency, yeah,
Yeah,
overtime
yeah,
contingency. So they pretty much what happens afterwards, like, oh, like they get turned back, they turned off, and so
yeah. Uh-huh.
I do it as season no yeah season 2 episode 1. Mark wakes up and
Right.
he's in the separate floor, and of course he goes and he they goes into his workspace and he finds like new employees there,
Uh-huh.
some I guess Italian guy and then two other people from
Right.
another place.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what the hell, like where's my team at, and blah blah blah, and he starts questioning everything.
Right.
Yeah, it was dope, man. I was like, dang, what the hell, crazy. And then Milchek is now the big guy there, and then they have the young assistant
Oh yeah,
named
yeah. The
Chow,
little girl, bro. The
the
little
little girl. I
kid.
was like, what the fuck? Shouldn't she be in school? Like, oh,
So
hey,
many
this is a cult.
questions.
I'm like, hey, this is a cult for sure.
So many
But
questions,
yeah,
bro.
man, it was crazy, man, crazy. And then yeah, so that was the first episode. Yeah, Mark wakes up. Um, and then of course everybody's like, oh, where's Dylan, Irv, and Helly. Um, but yeah, then you start to see like their little stories afterwards. I guess that's episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then you see Miss Silvic. She goes in, what she goes through with the company, and how
Yeah.
they fire her, and we'll
Yep.
see how she plays into it. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I was like, oh my god. And then the only thing I did notice is that Helly, she didn't mention what she went through in episode 2. She
Mm-hmm.
just says like, oh, I woke up and there was what she say, there was somebody delivering something or something like that, and they're like at night, like what the hell.
Yeah.
So she wasn't really telling the truth. So it makes me think she's not severed in the severed floor. She's regular. She's the she's the owner's daughter on the severed floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the plan. And she's trying to see what the hell is going on. But
Okay.
I'm also seeing that she is she's starting to see the romance between Helly and Mark,
Right.
and so she's starting to feel something for Mark also.
Mm.
So that's gonna be the connection. I was like, oh, crazy. Yeah, bro.
Okay. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
where is your opinion on what you think is going on from season 1 to season 2? Has any of that changed your view on what you thought was really going down with Severance?
No, it's still like I said, it's still a cult. They're still trying to make the perfect employee.
Okay. Okay.
But there's of course what I want to say. There's still conflict between those employee and the outside world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it does make you think like, man, imagine if we had like that severed life. Like you go to
Bro, it's
work and you're
so
like you don't
crazy.
know that. Yeah,
That is a crazy
yeah.
take. That is a crazy thing to think about.
Yep. It is because trust me, I've been at work and I was like, damn, imagine if I was severed. Like I wouldn't know where, like that I had kids and I had family. I'd just be working here. Like,
Yeah, you're
damn.
just working there. Like, yeah,
And with my coworkers, like, oh, what up, man? Let's go for a walk. Yeah, let's
yeah.
go. All right, cool. And then, oh, you get on the elevator. Zoop. Like, oh shit, gotta
And
go
what'd
to
you
my
do at work?
family.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what
Yeah,
I did at work.
that is crazy, man. It's crazy. But
That,
yeah, man, I can't. Yeah, I'll probably watch the third episode.
yeah.
Um, this week I'm gonna try to watch it probably this weekend. I know we have a long weekend, so I'll probably jump into the third and fourth episode.
So I'm gonna tell you this
Uh,
right now.
yeah.
Based on your theory, based on your theory, I need you to at least get to episode 4.
Okay, okay,
At least get to episode 4. Based on your theory, you're gonna flip the fuck out. Um,
mm,
but you need to at least get to episode 4.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. If
Yeah,
if you don't,
it's
fine.
tough.
All right, whatever. But if you did, it'd be like I think we could do a full fucking podcast on your thoughts after episode
Yeah.
4.
All right, all right.
Yeah, but you
I'm gonna try
gotta
to get there. Then.
you gotta get to episode 4. So if
But
you
yeah, it was good, man. Like the other guy that Helly's. I don't know if it's her brother or what the fuck. Looking like a Friar Tuck
oh the
type
big
of
fat
character.
dude with the like
Yeah,
bowl cut kind of shit,
yeah, that
that
fool.
dude's a
I
trip.
was
I
like,
don't know. I don't think no. I don't believe he's related. At least not from anything that I've seen after season 2 or whatever. But I'm pretty
okay.
positive they're. I could be wrong, but as of now,
Hmm.
I don't think they're related. But if you think they're related, that might be
I
something
mean,
that's
that's the only thing because he looks like her dad, and her dad has the kind of same haircut.
they,
So
they are kind of weird, bro. I do
weird.
agree. I
I was like,
I think
man.
it's some cult related bullshit. There's a lot of religion kind of.
Yeah.
It's weird, bro. There's a lot of religious like tones in this show. I don't know. It's a trip, bro. It is a trip. So let me ask you this question:
Hmm.
when I first told you about this show way back,
Yeah.
did you think you'd be as caught up in it as you are right now?
No, 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 no. Because I was like, oh, severed. You like you said, you like, oh, it's about being someone else at work. And I
Yeah,
was like, oh, okay. But yeah, then you watch it and then you start to think about it. Like, yeah, man, imagine that shit actually does happen. You go
yeah,
to work and you don't know your outside world, and you're like, oh, okay.
yeah.
And you're just, your family is pretty much your coworkers.
Right.
But yeah, no, I didn't think about it like that until now. It's like, oh man, it is a good show,
Yeah.
and it's very well directed, very
Right.
well like the whole workspace is
Yeah.
like the hallways, the doors, like the way where they work at. It's like, dude, this is confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, it's just crazy.
And just all the moral dilemmas, right, that come from you
Hmm.
being two different people.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. You're two different people, and the moral dilemma of it, right? And it's like,
Hmm.
and I mean, listen, if you're this far into our podcast and you haven't watched the rest of Severance, that's on you. But the 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 fact that like you're two different people now, right? And so like, if I choose to quit, like the person inside the workplace is dead.
Yeah.
Like you're essentially killing someone, bro. That's crazy
Yeah.
to think about, right? Like
Hmm.
that's fucking nuts. It's
And like yeah, you create that connection with your coworkers because like you said, like you don't have that your knowledge of the outside world, so it's
right.
like your coworkers are like
All you
your
know.
family. Yeah, you make that connection, so that I'm sure you'll care about them more.
Right.
But yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, all the episodes are good. All the
Hmm.
episodes are good, but like
Yeah.
based on what you're telling me right now, you're gonna flip your fucking lid by the end of
Okay.
episode 4.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna check it out then. I might
Yeah,
check it out because yeah, it's a long weekend, so I was like, might
yeah.
as well.
Even if you text me after you watch episode 4, I don't care. Like we'll keep it off air and then we'll bring it into the podcast. But like, I want to know when you watch episode 4.
All right. All right. All right. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, man, it's been good, man. I've definitely jumped on, and I'm gonna continue watching it for sure.
I will say you've brought up some things that I hadn't thought about at that stage where you're
Hmm.
watching it now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, all right. But yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah. I'm sure there's still a lot more questions I have
Oh yeah, and it's gonna give you
because it's
more
like,
questions, just so you know.
yeah, because it's like there's so much shit in one episode. You're like, wait, what the hell with this? And Dylan and his family, and then Milchick driving around on a motorcycle at night. I was like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
what? I was like, all right, but yeah, it's a good series, man. It's dope, and I
Yeah,
can't wait. I
yeah.
can't wait till next season this shit because I was like, man,
Oh,
we gotta see it.
dude,
when we could
it's
when we
killing me.
watch each episode and then we could recap it in our
Yeah, that's
recap.
what we're gonna need
Yeah,
to do, bro.
it's dope.
When season 3 comes out, we're gonna need to like dedicate. Say we're gonna watch this episode, and then we're gonna debrief,
Yeah,
and then we're gonna give our theories and wait for the next episode.
yeah,
Oh, that'll be
yep.
good.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd
that'll
be
be so
dope.
good. Maybe I can
But
convince
yeah, man,
my wife to come on and
I
give her
know.
theory on that since she's a huge Severance fan or whatever.
Yep.
That'll be good. That'll be good. Well, Ceez, we're
I
going
did
on.
want to mention
Yeah, what's up?
one more thing.
Yeah.
I know. I remember me and you used to watch this show. I don't know if you heard, but
Oh yeah.
Around the Horn, their last episode aired today.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and I was like, I
Ah.
saw the Instagram feed, and I was like, oh, and I saw a bunch of people, sports writers, of course,
Yeah.
that were on the show, like, oh, this is the end of Around the
Yeah.
Horn, but we're all
Ah.
family. But I was like, oh, Serge, I remember we used to watch that
Oh,
shit at
dude.
Windswept.
Oh, dude.
Those that one, and what is the other one?
Pardon the interruption.
Pardon the interruptions. Yeah, that one. Those two were like, yo, we gotta watch
Oh.
this.
And then you knew,
Yeah,
hold on.
man.
And then you knew our lunch break was going in long because what was it after that? Like after PTI, what would
Oh,
we switch to? Like,
it was just Sports Center, I
was it
believe.
Sports Center?
Yeah, right after.
Yeah, like,
Cause I think they showed up. They started air at 2, and then
uh,
it went to 3, and then at 3 it's
yeah.
East Coast 6 p.m. So they started Sports Center
So
at 6.
for those that don't know,
Yeah.
Caesar and I, um, we used to work together for a music publishing company,
Hmm.
in Beverly Hills. So I got in at a place and I was able to bring Caesar in, and we were there for a cool minute. And I think Caesar would agree, probably some of the best time in our lives as far as working
Yeah.
somewhere and working together. Right
Yep.
now, professionally, were we growing? Probably not.
No.
But in terms of how much fun we were having, we were having a
It
lot
was
of
dope.
fun. I mean, to say that we could drink on the job, to say we could come in whenever we wanted to. Well, I mean, technically we had a schedule, right? It was like 10 to 6,
Yeah.
but it didn't really matter as long as you got your work done. That
Yep.
was kind of really the thing. As long as you got your work done. Um, honey pot parties, which meant what like it was, a networking party. We got to
Hmm.
drink, for free at these parties if we went. Only rule was you have to show up the next day. Didn't matter if you
Yep.
showed up dragging, if you showed up in shades. If you attended a party, the only rule was you got to show up to work the next day.
Hmm.
But one of the best things about working there was the everyday kind of situation. And for us, the everyday situation was lunch. There was no
Yeah.
time limit on us for lunch, by the way. Like,
No.
most of the time we did about an hour, but there were several times where we did more than an hour lunch breaks.
Yeah.
Don't forget the times we used to go downtown and go pick up fucking King Taco,
King Taco.
all the way from Beverly Hills to downtown to go pick up some King Taco, just for the fuck of it. So, but we would have we had a nice conference room that
Uh-huh.
never got used as a conference room, and had a nice big table with a big TV, and all we ever did was we went in to have lunch, and we
Yep.
turned on the TV, And like Caesar mentioned, I mean, dude, you're bringing back some memories. And it's funny
Yeah.
you mentioned that. I literally talked about that recently to some my current coworkers. We would sit down, we would eat our food, and we would watch uh, Around the Horn, and we would
Mhm.
watch PTI, Pardon the
Yep.
Interruption.
Yep.
And like that took up all of our time. Like we were just sitting there shooting the shit, watching these shows.
Yeah, like we still had time to go pick up our lunch or go get lunch.
Right, we probably took 30 minutes to go get our food and then come back and still sat for an hour.
Yep. And still watch the whole, and then we'll be like, all right, cool, time to go back to work. Oh, dude, I
Oh,
remember that.
dude, it
And
was.
so now, yeah, dude, now it's like their last episode yesterday. I was like,
Oh, I feel
man,
so bad that I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cool,
Ah,
but oh man, I was like, man, I'm like, I gotta bring this up. Like this is part of our, our growing up, like through our
yeah,
youth and
dude.
shit. And like, dude, like,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they
man.
said they started in 2002. 2002. And I
Hey,
was like, okay,
2002.
so
Shit.
yeah, so I was like around kind of we were watching it early when they first started too.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, dude, I was like, oh, dude, so good. But man,
Oh, that buzzed me out, bro. I'm so bummed that I didn't get to see their last episode.
I mean, I'm sure you could catch it
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, I know, but it's not
But
like if
yeah,
I'd have known, I would have made an effort to watch it.
yeah.
Like it was such good times. In fact, who did I tell? I told somebody, but I still have in my. I don't think you saw it last time you were here, but like in
Hmm.
my garage where I park one of my cars, I park it up against my refrigerator in the garage. I have one of the Windswept Holdings parking
Oh,
signs.
okay. Oh, for real? Oh, it's dope.
I took that shit off on my last day there. I ripped it off the wall from the basement. And I was like,
Oh,
nope,
okay.
I'm taking this shit with me.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Okay,
I still
okay.
got
I
that
gotta
bad
check.
boy with me.
I gotta look at it. I gotta show me next time I'm there.
Yeah,
Ah,
dude,
shit.
I still got that shit with me from the parking spot that I used to park in.
Oh,
Ripped
that's
that shit
dope.
off. Hell yeah, great times, great
Oh,
times.
great
So,
times. But yeah, man. Shout out to Around the Horn. Oh,
oh
good
yeah,
job, guys.
great.
You guys were the best.
Yeah, they were, dude. They were amazing show,
Yeah.
fantastic. What was it, Tony? No,
Tony Reali.
yeah,
Yeah, Tony
yeah,
Reali was
yeah,
the host.
yeah.
But yeah, it was good, man. I was like, oh,
Such a
damn,
good
last
show.
episode.
Such a good
Yep.
show.
But yeah,
Dang.
ESPN decided just to cut it because I guess they're moving on. I guess to
Yeah.
a podcast, something like that. So I was
Really?
like, all right, cool, yeah.
Yeah, because they
But
had
we'll
like
see.
Bill Plaschke and a couple other
Yeah.
guys.
Hmm.
The guy from what's
Woody Page.
yeah, Woody Page. Was he from Boston? Was he Boston?
Yeah, he was still on like just for a long time. I think he was on today for the last episode because he was still
Ah.
going. I was like, damn, this was old. He looks old too.
I bet he looks old, dude, because he looked old
Yeah.
when when we were watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
Yep.
dang, dude. Well,
Yep.
shout out, like you said. I'm glad you brought that up, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Shout out to Around the Horn and PTI, but PTI is still going around from what I understand, right? With
Yeah.
Kornheiser,
Hmm.
and what's his name? The other guy.
Wellbon.
Yeah, Wilbon.
Hmm.
But yeah, Around the Horn. Hey, they did their thing. Shout out to them. Great show. Man, that brings
Yeah.
back some memories, dude.
Hell, that's why I brought it up because I was, yo, that was windswept for us. I was like,
Oh man.
conference room, put ESPN on. I
Oh,
was like,
dude. Some of the
yeah,
best times. Some of the best
uh,
times. Oh
uh,
man. Oh well,
well, yeah, that's all I got.
that is a great way to close that out, man. That is a great way to close that out. Well, C's, we're right at our mark of 2 hours. No matter what we do, we can't shy away from 2 hours. We're right at that mark. So aside from closing it out with windswept memories and a shout out to Around the Horn, what do you got to say to the people, man?
Man, thank you guys for watching. Salute to you guys. Hit that like button, comment, sponsor us. uh, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. We love you guys. Hell yeah.
Yep, like C said, appreciate you guys. Don't forget to put some comments on there. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you like, what you don't like. That'd be fantastic. We'd love to see some comments. Once again, shout out to the Around the Horn show. And then catch us for the next episode, episode 37, where hopefully
Yep.
by then Ceez has watched episode 3 and 4 of Severance, and we'll have
Yeah.
a review of the Monaco Grand Prix. So we'll see how that
Yep.
goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for episode 36 of HCP Homie Connect Podcast. You've got Ceez in the house repping his Dodgers. You got me
What up,
also
is?
repping the Dodgers, kind of, but mainly LA. But it is what it is. Much shout out to you guys. Much love to everyone. And once again, thank you guys for willing to watch us. Have a great one. We're out.
Peace.
Deuces.